Hey guys, Mr. DHPD here.
The greatest unrelatable Honkai star rail player that has ever lived.
And I promise, this is my last DHPT video.
Last.
Again. Say
Last.
again. I dare you. I double dare you, mother. Say
Last.
one more goddamn time.
The greatest
Because we are finally gonna be taking a look at Prydwen, the holy grail of information when it comes to HSR. Prydwen's opinion, Prydwen's tier list for DHPT's placement in the meta across all three endgame content. And after this, I can finally say, I am good to go with DHPT. Little bit of a context. I have played bro from E0 S0 to E0 S1 to E2 S1 in MOC, Pure Fiction, Apocalyptic Shadow, Anomaly, Arbitration. I think I pretty much tested more than like 50 runs with DHPT now, so nobody knows DHPT more than I do at this point. So let's just jump straight into the tier list for MOC, Pure Fiction, as well as Apocalyptic Shadows. Bada boom, bada bing, and there it is. Bro is there immediately. A tier 0 sustain, standing toe to toe with Hyacine. Absolutely exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. Wait, what was the thing again? We're Honkai star rail players. Of course, when a new unit comes out, bro, it's gonna be tier 0. Exceptional. So that is gonna be MOC. We're not gonna take a look into, because there's no update for MOC as well as PF, since PF just refreshed and MOC is refreshing, I believe, next week. So there's only an Apocalyptic Shadows update. So MOC, DHPT is gonna be tier 0. And then what to do? Let's take a look at Pure Fiction. Ooh. Okay, now you see, this is pretty interesting. Now, okay, this is pretty interesting. From my experience, yeah, as a E2 DHPT, he can clear the mobs very, very nicely, right? He can clear the mobs sometimes even nicer than Hyacine, because bro doesn't need TP. So if you have a E2 DHPT, you have infinite dragon spams, infinite follow-up attack, infinite damage, infinite 80% resman, infinite skill points. So if you are at a E0 category, probably not gonna be getting the additional follow-ups, probably not gonna be helping you clear the mobs as well. Not saying that he can't sustain, but it's definitely gonna be better than Hyacine over here. That being said though, I cannot wait for Hue to go tier 1. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this clip. Hold up. Ouch. When I die, I want Hue to be the one to put me in the grave, so she can let me down one last time. Like, there's literally nothing you could have done. There's literally, I should have put the S1. I should have put the E2 S1, So I'm gonna be waiting for the day where Hue digs herself into the grave, into tier 1. So and then what it's gonna be, DHPT at T0.5, I think it's pretty fair to Hazel, right? So that's gonna be there for Pure Vision. And finally, wait, I don't think Pure Vision has an update tier list yet, right? There's no update tier list because it literally just reset. Yeah, literally just reset. So it's just gonna be Apoc. So let's take a look into Apoc Shadows. And there it is. The tier 0, tier 0.5, and tier 0 with Mr. DHPT standing alongside the triple tier 0 Hyacine. And there it is, right? Gallagher, where everyone else is just gonna be here. I think my experience with bro in Apocalyptic Shadows, it might be a little bit skewed. Because first of all, you're never gonna run bro in the second half against Pollux. Let's just be real, you're never running him against Pollux. So you're only gonna be running him in Cocolia. And if you're gonna be running him in Cocolia, he doesn't really do any additional toughness while breaking because he's physical and Cocola is not with the physical unless you're going to be running Finon or an Nexa, which both of them are pretty decent, very, very good DPS. Actually, not decent, very, very good DPS against Cocola. So if you're running those things to implant the weaknesses for bro to let go of his dragon, let go of his follow-up, kill the ice spitters on that stuff, I think his only performance in A-Box so far with those two DPS is quite okay. Other than that, I think we need to see more different environments. Because as of where it stands, I'm not too sure if bro is gonna be... Because we haven't really seen a unit, right? That wants that many shields. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a... Because the current A-Box environment is like, if you're able to break Cocolia, you get a full refund on energy and health and everything anyways. So like, a lot of the times, like, you don't really see the value of bro when he gives you the shield as well as the Bornmate as well as the summons, unless you lose bro Sunday so you can get an 80% Sunday damage buff. So looking forward to see how A-Box Shadow is gonna be cooking up a little bit more. Before we get into like the rest of the A-Box Shadows update, I kind of just wanna, as of right now in MOC, I think he is definitely more comfortable than a tier 0.5. Like way more comfortable than the tier 0.5s. I'm waiting for the day where they finally add an anomaly arbitration tier list. Actually, you know what? Anomaly arbitration tier list. Hia Teep. Evernight caster is and then, there's the anomaly arbitration tier list, right? Yeah, but it is very obvious that he's gonna be a lot more comfortable from a sustained perspective, right? From a sustained perspective, every rest of the units here, I'm pretty sure they can still sustain, but like at this day and age, it is no longer as comfortable as it used to be. So for example, Aventrin back in my days, you could full skill point positive spam his basic attacks and his shield would never be broken. But nowadays, you are almost forced to use Aventrin skills because if you don't, you will legit die. You will legit die when you're trying to sustain Aventrin. And it's a very similar problem with Huan as well. Like, you have to spam their skills to keep your team alive, right? So these two, a little bit too skill point heavy. I genuinely think Gallagher is still pretty okay, right? He's a lot more skill point in vision. I feel like from a sustain perspective, is how much you heal, how much skill point you generate, and the utility is like everything that comes after. If you cannot get these two things, right? If you cannot get your skill points and sustain there first, all the utility at this end, it ain't gonna do nothing. Right, so I don't really care if Huan gives me energy regeneration as well as 40% death buff. If she can't keep my team alive, what is the point? I might as well just run another amplifier. If she can't give me enough skill points for my DPS or support to use the skills, what is the point? I might as well just use something else. Right? So these two things are like way more important. So for all those reasons, I think it is really fair that he's above these over here. Frankly, I haven't used it in so long. Like, why is this break sustain still here? Where are my break units? What is bro doing here? You get what I'm saying? Bro, just I would literally rather have Luocha back up here. I would rather have Luocha back up tier 0 and store with Link Shot, right? So, and I want to do Gallagher, honestly, bro is him, so it is what it is. I do think that between comfort, you don't really have to choose between Hyacine and DHPD because the more you need two teams. So if there were to be two tier 0s, these two are it, right? And going forward into version 4, right? Version 4. I am a little bit more skeptical for Hyacine than DHPD because reminds me of back in those days of Subrik, right? When they showed Subrik, they showed HB environment. And when version 4, I just played the event, the Elation event, the AHA event, right? What if in version 4 they basically said, nah, your HP sustains, we want shields now? Because that's like how they rotate. If HP sustain is no longer gonna be as relevant, it might be a crazy day where I see DHPD being higher than Hyacine. It will not be today, it will definitely not be tomorrow, but someday, one day, it might happen when they want more shields than heals, then there's gonna be a shift. And you know what happens when that happens? What happens when that happens, guys? A brand new version for sustain is gonna get released that fits the question of can your team sustain the brand new shield mechanics, right? Demand, supply, problem, solution, gacha games is gacha games, and then one right? So that's what I'm guessing is gonna be happening. So let's take a look at Bro's wait, Apocalyptic Shadow update, right? I might as well just get through this. Yep. Where is Face Yao? Just move Bro up, right? That's very, very good. Rest of the stuff. Wait, we have a lot of tier 0 supports over here. Rame is definitely gonna be fine. I'ma be for real. E0 Bubbin. I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to get yourself the ultimate fast enough. If you can, fantastic. If you can't, can you drop the tier 0.5. Teep is Teep. RMC is kind of chilling. Sunday Saridra. Saridra is basically getting boosted by Final by so much, so it's kind of air there. Between these 6 amplifiers, if I can only pick, like, I don't know, 4. Okay, 4 is a little bit excessive, honestly. Okay, you know what? 4, right? 4 DPS. Ranmei, Teep, Saridra, Sunday. These two, frankly speaking, if it's up to me, if they can only 4, I'll just drop them down below, right? They are better than, like, for example, Bronya, right? They are definitely better than Bronya. But it is not going to be as close as compared to these, the big 4. The big 4 of the amplifier, so that's going to be there. Hyacine with DOT. DOT is going to be popping off because we have the DOT buff, so that's going to be fine. Blade. Where is Blade? I think Blade did pretty okay against Pollux. I could be wrong, but I think he will do not too bad against Pollux. What the are my super breakers doing, guys? Okay, I guess Firefly is still really good against Cocolia, right? Like, Cocolia was low-key built for Firefly back in those days, so I think Firefly is still going to be popping. Evernight, as of where it stands right now, she has to be tier 0 simply because she was up against Pollux. And you wouldn't want to have anyone else aside from, like what the f are we doing at tier 1? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you might as well just put here at least 0.5 and put an icon. Tier 1 is way too low considering that we literally have ones that is going to be Pollux. So that's going to be there. And if the Kazris Hyacine, like, if the Ji Zanjian doesn't go away, she won't go away. Right? So at least tier 0.5 over here. All these, I've set my graph to sustain each other. That's going to be fine. Jiao Qiu fell off. Fuke fell off. Cyber is chilling. Bronya, if it's E0, nobody will be playing her. E0 Bronya can just go all the way down to like here or some shit. Spargo is honestly quite good, especially with Archer, so this is gonna be fine. Steel Wolf is gonna be okay, especially against Cocolia, so that's okay. Nobody at tier 0 Apex, so Saber is chilling with the energy regeneration. Aglaya is chilling. Okay, this is chilling. Yeah, the rest of the units is just not too crazy, right? Yeah, absolutely. So that's gonna be the Apocalyptic Shadow tier list. Let's take a look at Bro's changelog over here. DHPT arrives on the scene strong and moves to being the go-to attack-based sustain for most characters. Based on this, his ratings and AI should also come as no surprise with tier 0 rankings for both. Pure Vision is a little bit more challenging as well. DHPT is powerful. Hyacine is okay. This is completely fair. This is completely fair. I thought this was shitting, which is a little bit sus. On the other hand of the spectrum, DHPT is definitely stronger. Absolutely. Whether it's now the push and sustain category down, blah blah blah. Yeah, this is completely fair. DHPT in Pure Vision will be sitting on lot. Just kill her. Right, just kill. Oh! All 3 of them have been watch listed to potentially move down. If it was up to me, they would have died 5 years ago, right? It is time to let them rest. Well, HSR players, of course, we power creep our shit within 1 patch, right? So, yep, it is time to let them rest, bring Bro down to tier 1, and we can just move on and don't have to do too much about it anymore. Apocalyptic Shadow updates, tier 1 and tier 0.5 for Hyacine, absolutely. We do have the DOT shield buff, so I don't think it's gonna be, you know, too much of a difference. We'll see how version 4 is gonna hold up. Watch list up. I have no idea what is Bro doing as tier 1. Tier 1 is super strict. Produce some strong score solo, blah blah. Expect everyone to move on next update. But we're taking one more phase, sure. If you laugh, I tell Sunday. Firefly and Boot Hill suffer a mediocre run last phase, and things have not gotten better. Wait, even against Cocolia? Even against Cocolia. Damn. Break is struggling across the board. And that is now starting to show itself more prominently in AS as well. We're giving Boot Hill and Firefly one more phase to bounce back. Bounce to their usual performance before making any hard decisions. Both are being watch listed because they are about to die. And with that, we are going to be coming to a very quick little video for DHPD, our brand new Tier 0 0.5 and Tier 0 DPS. But before I end off this video, I just want to say, for my break enjoyers, right? You know, MrPokke, Mr. Firefly hater, the Firefly Slender guy, right? Alright, for my break enjoyers, I just want to say, the thing holding back break is not necessarily just the environments, right? The environments play a very big deal, right? The increased toughness bar, you can't break bro, they recover high speed, you don't get a stain that's super break. You know? But one thing that's low-key, high-key holding break team back is they are still using a version 1 support. Every other team in HSR has moved on to either V2, which is Sunday, or V3 and that's Teep. So if Break was ever gonna get a update, word of the day is gonna be if you laugh. Join Twitch, join Discord, all the best for use code POKKE for 10% off. Get myself down. See you guys next time. But I'm morning.